And joining us now is the chair of the Texas Democratic Party, Kendall Scudder. Good to have you here, Kendall. I know it's an exciting day for all people there in your state, but particularly you and your involvement in politics directly. This primary on the Democratic side pits two rising stars in your party against each other. How would you describe the choice between Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and State Rep James Talarico?
Yeah, I think that as Texas gets more and more in play for Democrats, you're going to see more and more contentious primaries. And so this is the beginning of what I think will be a lot of contentious primaries in the state. You have State Representative James Talarico, who's kind of notorious for being someone who tries to get along with folks, reach across the aisle, versus someone like Jasmine Crockett, who is ready to take on MAGA, right? And so I think that they both have, they could probably each learn something from each other. They're both really high quality candidates. The question just becomes, what does the electorate in Texas want? What do Texas Democrats want this cycle? Whoever they nominate, we're going to have a phenomenal nominee running into November.
Last month, Democrats flipped a Texas state Senate seat in a district that Trump carried in 2024 by 17 points. But as you know, a Democrat hasn't won statewide there in Texas in decades. So how can your party maybe build on the momentum from that earlier election and change that?
Well, moving that district 31 points is one data point. But now we're looking at a primary where Republicans usually outvote Democrats 65-35, 70-30, and Democrats are outvoting Republicans right now in Texas. So at some point, these data points become trend lines. And I really think that this energy around the state is very palpable. What Republicans have done on the tariff front, on the immigration front, it just doesn't sit well with Texans who are fiercely independent. And they don't like this kind of government involvement where the government thinks they can just shoot mothers point blank in the head for not abiding by their will. That's not something that I think goes over well for Texans. And so I think Republicans are in a heap of trouble in November, particularly when they nominate Ken Paxton. I'll tell you, runoffs in Texas are where Republican incumbents go to die. So even if John Cornyn manages to squeak it off into a runoff, he isn't surviving this runoff in May.
Kendall Scudder, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks
Just
for
a big program.